We're back. Welcome back to the For Against podcast here on Nick Hall Comedy. I'm Nick Hall. I'm your Nick Hall. Joined as always by
Josh Griffey.
Hey, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and leave us a rating and review. If you're on, YouTube, jam those like buttons. And, if you got a For Against topic you want to hear, leave it in the comments. We're probably going to do it, because we love you guys. And you know what? If you need some sweet gear, just take your ass on over to CoachKentMurphy.com/shop. And, don't invest that money in Robinhood. Spend it on Coach Kent Murphy gear. You know what I mean?
Criminals.
We're about to go public, probably. So,
yeah, use your ill-gotten game stonks, right?
Game stonks.
Game stonks, and come over to old Kent Murphy.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive, huh?
It was a lot of fun.
I still don't know that I'm smart enough to understand exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But I saw that Barstool declared war on Wall Street, and I was like, 2021 is off to a ripping start.
I didn't get in on time for the GameStop or the AMC. My brother did. My brother actually bought some AMC fucking at the beginning of the COVID pandemic when they started really tanking. My brother was like, fuck it, I'm going to buy some of this and just see if somebody bails him out or thinking that the lockdown wasn't going to last as long, and he just held on to them. And then all of a sudden that boomed, and he was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah. So he made a decent.
But he did it in earnest. This was not the
he just got lucky. Yeah. But then I bought some of that Dogecoin.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
it's like a Bitcoin.
It's kind of, but it's it's a useless digital currency. It's made after the Doge meme and shit. It's just it's kind of fake.
Yeah.
But I made $80 off of it or whatever.
Hey, there you go.
You know what I mean? And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I just sold it, and I was like, I'm up 80, fuck it.
Yep, sure, that's great.
You know what I mean?
I don't understand any of this. Because I know I have retirement funds and stuff that are based in the stock market. I should pay attention, but I was so for watching old rich white guys crying on the news. One guy literally broke down and wept, and he's like, this stuff matters to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I bet it does, you fucking criminal.
I actually love how incensed Portnoy's getting. It's pretty great.
I heard he lost almost $1 million.
Yeah, he lost quite a bit, but he's fighting the good fight for the common man, and I kind of like it.
Good on him.
You know what I mean?
Those guys
I'm kind of a fan of it.
Absolute crooks, right?
Oh yeah.
So essentially, they got mad because they were gonna gamble these companies away, right?
Yeah.
And then someone caught it, made some money. Reddit said, we'll do that too.
Right.
And they're like, no, not you guys.
Well, basically, what happens, they short those stocks.
Yes.
So basically, here's how it works, right? They borrow those stocks on a company they think is going to fail. They borrow stocks from the broker, the hedge fund, or whoever, and say it's at $10 right there, right? So I borrow that stock, and they're betting that it's going to drop.
Go lower.
So then when it gets to 7, they go and buy the actual stock, and they give it back to the broker, but they get that $3 difference because the broker buys it back at 10. The broker buys it back at whatever it was when they borrowed it. So they make 30% or 20%, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
So it's just a shady way to make money. They're betting
Feels criminal, right?
They're betting on companies to lose by borrowing stock. You can't borrow stock. It's a kind of a shady practice anyway. Well, these fucking Redditors just figured out how to beat them.
Sure.
By artificially inflating the prices of stocks that hedge funds shorted. Not really artificially because they're buying the stocks. Yeah. They're just driving them back up.
Well,
is all they're doing.
Know that GameStop
and the old
value.
The old fuddy-duddies got all mad that,
It's the classic, right? A thing only has as much value. I'm always on the lookout for toys or vintage comics, right? Like a DVD of a movie they haven't made a Blu-ray of.
Right.
And you'll go to eBay and there's the one guy who will be like, Grizzly 2, The Revenge, right? $900. And you're like, keep believing that's going to sell on eBay, guy. I like your attitude. Yeah. But if he sells it, he's a genius.
It's worth what anybody will pay for it.
Because I will pay him $12, right? But if he just waits 5 years and gets the $900, great on him.
Yeah.
So the thing I think is weird, though, when Robinhood shut down the app, so the people couldn't sell anymore.
Well, that's what they did. They protected the hedge funds. What they did was they just intentionally.
But that's actually a criminal violation, right?
It seems like it on the surface. I don't know. I'm not a fucking day trader.
So they took all their money to buy stonks, and then when they wanted to get out again,
right? they intentionally crashed that stock so that the hedge funds wouldn't lose on their shorts, or they would lose less.
Ridiculous.
Right. And so that the common man wouldn't make as much money.
Dollars and whatever. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, fuck those old biddies, man. I hope they fucking lose everything.
I think
I hope they lose it all.
The fact that they just like out front of all of us said, no, this has always been a rigged game.
Yeah.
Don't worry that we collapsed the economy like 10 years ago.
Right.
It's cool. This is not for you guys. Just wait till the Adam McKay movie of this comes out.
Yeah.
But that's a funny thing I read. Netflix is already cast.
Yeah.
And like is scheduling a movie and they don't even have a script yet.
Yeah.
So they cast the guy before they even had a script.
That's great.
For the GameStop Netflix movie.
Yeah, that's great. That's what it is. But in other news, I wore my Colts shirt today because there's wild rumors that Andrew Luck's coming back, baby. And I mean, you know what?
If there was a short to stock, it would be Andrew Luck.
Oh, no way.
Or stock to short. That's who I would bet on.
Yeah,
Andrew Luck never wanting to get another broken bone.
You go ahead and stock it. I'll be the Redditor that fucking buys you out, baby.
You're coming
I'll
for
drive that price up. Yeah, they're going to have to – Robin Hood's going to have to step in to keep Andrew Luck from coming back, baby.
I feel confident at the end of this movie, I'll be in my ivory tower throwing little people darts. And you'll be like, no. Who do we have? I mean, Stafford's not even available. Maybe you'll be in on the Derek Carr sweepstakes.
God, I wish I could be so lucky.
I love that the NFL's now, everyone's just like, we should shuffle our mid-level white quarterbacks around. That'll make a big difference.
Yeah.
LA's like, we finally got the piece to probably still lose in the wild card game.
Yeah. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
I love Andrew Luck, and he's coming back. You heard it here. We're breaking the news right now. I'm confirming.
What is Andrew Luck's net worth, do you think?
$100 million, probably.
Why would he ever come back?
Because he loves football. His wife.
Does he?
His wife. There's texts of his wife.
Yeah.
And that somebody screenshot it, and she's like, Andrew misses football. He's gonna leave. He's gonna come back. That's what all this is blowing up about. Yeah.
That's just a wife trying to sound cool.
No, bro.
But she wasn't football.
No, she was just talking to her friend, and her friend is the one that screamed. She didn't know that like it was going to be breaking news.
Her own friend just betrayed her like
100%.
You think she's
her friend sent screenshots to one of her other friends that is not friends with Andrew Luck's wife, and the other friend was like, "Fuck it, I don't know her," and she put it on Twitter. Her husband put it on Twitter.
There's no way.
It's verified. It's verified.
He's wagging the dog, as it were.
No.
There's no way that she's sending out unsolicited texts.
Golden 4, Andrew Luck coming back. Golden 4.
I bet you are. Those 3 games before he goes down injured will be the best.
Oh, before his lacerates his other kidney, it's going to be a blast. And then Scott Tolzien will make a comeback, and Curtis Painter will make another comeback.
Reggie Wayne's coming back.
Oh, I wish. My buddy saw Reggie Wayne the other day. I was really jealous about that.
In jail?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Reggie Wayne's a good guy.
He was a murderer, I thought.
No, that's Marvin Harrison.
Oh, Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, Marvin's the guy that shot.
Marvin's a murderer.
Yeah, well, a gun bearing his name etched out like a custom gun was found in a trash can.
Don't write your name.
May or may not have been used in a murder. And he was like, "That's not my gun." They're like, "It says Marvin on it." Like,
it says Marvin Harrison, number whatever.
Yeah, 1 of 1.
It has a Colts horseshoe on it.
And here's the receipt.
That is just so many coincidences, officer.
Yeah. No, Reggie's like the good dude. I mean, Marvin was
Reggie's the good guy.
Marvin seemed like a good dude.
Freeney was a good guy. The Colts have mostly good guys.
Mostly good guys.
And then Marvin Harrison's like a stealth Ray Lewis candidate.
Yeah. Mike Vanderjagt was a piece of shit.
Okay.
Well, fuck that guy.
We'll keep a running list.
The drunken
Indiana dick holes.
Drunken kicker.
You gotta love a drunken
dick bag. That dickhead.
Yeah, man. I think this is a work. I don't know what Andrew Luck's play is. There's no possible way his wife is just sending that nonsense out into the void. There's no way.
She did, though.
No, she didn't just get caught. You think Andrew Luck's wife doesn't know that that's going to be a massive story the moment she sent that text?
She was texting her friend in confidence.
I mean, clearly not her friend.
Because they were talking about the babies and shit, and and then all of a sudden she was like, I'm going to miss Andrew being able to, like, be up every morning with the babies because he's probably going to go back and play football. And I was like, oh! And it was like the scene in South Park when Randy Marsh like finally finds the internet and he just jacks off and there's cum everywhere. Like that was me reading that last night. I was like, oh!
She's probably just tired of his fucking grimace voice scaring their baby. Like, good lord.
I really like football. I don't give a fuck, man.
I mean, that'd be cool for you. That'd be great, man.
We're automatic Super Bowl champs if he comes back. I guarantee we win it.
I mean, you weren't with him.
We
you
win
won't
it.
be with
him
again.
we will. Well, we have a line now. He didn't have a line when he played here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No, there's no way, dude. Short.
Yeah.
Short.
And Jonathan Taylor.
He's just stoked to be just a super rich guy.
Champions. Probably the next 4 if he comes back.
He's probably got that Conor McGregor thing. He's too rich.
We're gonna do the opposite Bills. We're gonna go to 4 in a row and win all 4. We're gonna fucking we're gonna flip the script on the Bills.
They call that a Patriots.
Patriots never won 4, and they never even won 3 in a row. Fuck them.
I mean, they just won 6.
Yeah, they went to some in a row, but they didn't win 4.
I did say for the listeners, I was hoping that you would consent to filming a live feed of you watching Tom Brady win the Super Bowl.
Well, we'll get into that. I've got a 4 against topic about. I'm going to save that one for last, but this one, the first one, we're getting into it's 4 against time. 4 or against.
Mad Dog.
This one comes from Casey Shaw.
Okay.
On YouTube. 4 against YouTubers fighting.
100% 4. 100%. Wait, are they talking about like us?
Well,
like
I don't know because you could take it 2 ways. You could be like, the Paul brothers where they're actually like setting up, real fights.
Yeah.
Or just like, like for a while you and I talked about just like starting an arm wrestling channel.
Yeah.
And just fighting.
We were really into arm wrestling. So big.
Or just us yelling at each other about 4 and again. Either way, I'm for all of it. I'm for conflict on YouTube.
Yeah, well, I think because this is the thing. Like, let's take the Paul brothers for
Let's
example.
Start there,
right?
yeah.
Or who was the other guy they fought, the British guy?
I don't know.
I don't know his name, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably not in the demographic of like,
Lennox Lewis.
That thing. But yeah, so I had never really heard or seen anything from those guys until the fighting.
Yeah.
And so they have their massive younger audiences, right? Now they have this whole other thing.
Yeah.
Logan Paul, what's the younger one? Jake Paul has probably never been more popular than he is right this second.
Agreed.
When he filmed himself laughing at Conor McGregor getting knocked out.
That was a great video.
Amazing. That's what I mean. I think what we're learning, too, is that people don't really care about pro boxing that much.
Yeah.
But we love to see fights.
Right.
Right? So for me, it's give me a fight that's more interesting story-wise.
That's why
I'll take that all day.
That's why I think they've cornered the market on that.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know if you remember, like, when I grew up, my dad was a huge boxing fan.
Huge.
So I watched, like, and you got to, like, those heavyweight bouts were fucking, like, that was must-see TV. Like, that was, boxing was huge. When the Tyson fights, Holyfield, even, like, Foreman for a little bit of my childhood, like, in the early part of my childhood and shit. Like, that was huge. So, like, if they tried this then, nobody would have gave a fuck because you had an amazing heavyweight bout, every month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I don't want to watch. And none of these guys. But now, like, nobody knows shit about boxing. UFC is fucking so far past them.
Yeah.
Because there's no good cards in boxing. No, they don't market it. Nobody knows who it is.
Yeah.
So now we get to watch fucking Mayweather and one of the Paul brothers fight.
Yeah, why not?
But I'm into it. Like, it's almost like Celebrity Deathmatch back in the day.
Exactly.
Only it's like real life. They're really doing it. Yeah.
But that's like I saw Rough and Rowdy. I think has Jose Canseco coming up, and you're like,
ooh.
I might actually shell out for that one.
Yeah.
Like I played softball with that guy, and it was like he's just different.
Yeah.
You're like, I'd watch an old Jose.
He tried
Canseco
to get in a
fight
YouTube or in a Kent Murphy video once.
He just wanted so much money to get our shit.
Yeah, he asked if he could be in a Kent Murphy video, but we had to pay him $10,000.
Yeah.
That's what his agent said. I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense, and no.
We'll just keep doing the banging.
I was like, you asked me. I didn't fucking send you an email.
Jose, I know you're red hot in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm for it, man. Like
I'm all the way for it.
As I was talking to my brother, right, we got the Conor McGregor fight, and we watched, and Conor just got trucked.
Oh,
I won a bunch of money. It was cool. But I was like, he is probably the only huge breakout star in all of MMA, right?
Yeah.
Like across the board. So I was kind of sad that he lost. And it's one of those like MMA guy things. They love to say that Conor sucks. And you're like, he held 2 belts simultaneously. You don't suck and do that.
Yeah.
Like, he like got off the course, right? He got too rich. I think someone on Twitter I read, they said, it's hard to be a savage when you wake up in silk sheets. And I was like, yeah, like he already won life. He has all the money.
Like, drinking crappy whiskey the whole time, too.
Yeah. But now if you're telling me I would rather watch him fight Jake Paul than any single card the UFC can make right now.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to see John Jones get his head knocked off by Francis Ngannou, that giant monster.
Yeah. He's a big,
Other
large
than that,
man.
you're like, there's not a rivalry in that sport that I give two.
Yeah, but UFC sells, man.
I mean, they do. Well,
I don't watch. I don't really watch a bunch of it, but it's like they're doing something right.
I mean, for
it
sure,
sells.
That's fine. They've got their thing, but I would bet that Jake Paul and Conor McGregor will outsell McGregor-Poirier too, which I think is already top 4 or 5 UFCs ever.
Yeah, probably.
And I think that would outsell.
Well, and that was the thing too when McGregor and Mayweather fought. Like, I always thought that it was bullshit that they only did boxing. Like, they should have done one boxing.
Sure.
And then Mayweather has to get in the octagon and just get wrecked. Like, McGregor would have wrecked him in the octagon.
Oh, I mean, he'd be...
No, he isn't on a fight like that.
A professional boxer gets, like, that one punch. You can try to knock him out, and then the moment those guys grab you, you're just dead.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not something you can
Because you can't play, like, fairy-ass defense like Mayweather the whole time in the octagon.
You can't play around when someone can kick
you can't just backpedal around the ring for 8 rounds.
He's like, but I do the shoulder lean. It's like, cool. Just kick him through the ring.
I'm 50-0. Yeah, like 50 of the most boring fights I've ever seen in my life.
But that's what I mean, right? Floyd Mayweather is this, like, technical boxing genius.
Yeah.
When I watch, I just go, boring.
Yeah,
like,
well, Floyd's the Redditors that learned how to beat the boxing hedge funds. You know what I mean? Like, it's not real pretty, but he figured it out.
He knew to short Canelo back in the day. Yeah.
He shorted offense and went all for defense.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was Deontay Wilder Fury. I was like, I'll watch that because it's two big guys and Tyson Fury's funny. But when he beat Wilder, you're like, oh, man, Wilder was like the scariest guy ever. Now that's kind of over somewhat. So, yeah, for me, it's like if you say I could watch all of those, right? Or Clint Eastwood will fist fight any liberal protester. You're like, that I'm paying for. Top dollar. Right?
Clint Eastwood going roughshod.
Yeah.
Just through a fucking liberal protest.
You just get like the most liberal protester guy ever, right?
And the My Pillow guys in the front row going, come on, Clint.
Yeah! He's like, I bet all of my fortunes on this because it's going bad. But that's what I mean. Like Clint Eastwood versus any guy who like says Starbucks isn't coffee, rolled up jeans, pussy hat, whatever.
Yeah.
In his physical prime, right? Whatever. And Clint Eastwood just walks in with like the chair with
I don't know.
in it.
I want Clint Eastwood now with like his jeans up to his tits and like just old, like dirty style old man boxing.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Would you pay $100 to watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
by $1 million.
Even Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. like, we wanted to see that. It's a weird show.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I could make probably 10 fights off the top of my head that involve people who are just YouTube, Instagram celebrities, whatever.
All day.
That you would rather watch fight.
Yeah.
Than any professional boxing or MMA card that could come out right
I'd watch like the I'm Tyrone guy.
Oh, yeah.
Him?
The
like,
cigarette guy.
He's huge.
It makes me mad.
His videos kill me, but like, I'd watch him fight people because he's a large man.
I've always imagined this. I'm like, if Tyrone slapped my smoke out of my hand, what would be my move? And I'm like, I'd like to think I could give him a run, but you're like, no. And you're like, I'm already
like you can't go around doing that if you're not really sure of your fighting abilities.
I think he wins 99%.
You know what I'm saying,
because
though?
People are scared.
Yeah.
Because there have been a couple
But
guys
you still
that
have to be pretty sure about your fighting abilities to go and do that.
Right. But like, he's not going to walk up on guys like me and you and be like, look at those physical horses.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I'm fat enough. If I like gave him something to like wrestle with, you could get some cheap shots.
Yeah. Well, it's like, but that's the guys.
A 2-on-1.
Guys that are like sure of like that's who you don't want to fight. You know what I mean? The chirpers are the guys that you want to fight because they're usually full. Like Nate Bargatze does a great bit about like he was trying to pull a prank on his buddy. They're at McDonald's and his buddy went to the bathroom, so he takes a bite out of his burger and wraps it back up. And his buddy comes out, and his buddy immediately assumes that it's one of the workers that did it. And so he starts losing it, right?
Yeah.
And he's yelling at it, and he's like, I'll fucking fight all of you, you know? And but Nate, like Bargatze's point was that like the guy that's sure enough to take a bite out of your burger and then serve it to you is probably not the guy you want to fight because he doesn't give a fuck.
He bit that burger so he could beat your ass.
Yeah, like and that's the same thing with Tyrone. Like, yeah, it's like pick your battles. I don't know if that's the one.
I know, but that's why we watch those videos, because we always hope they'll end in like a backyard brawl.
100%. And
so
I've seen a couple guys square up and throw on him.
Yeah.
And, and he'll throw back, but then, like, it de-escalates pretty quick.
Well, I watch all those, like, we're pranksters on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's like they go in a supermarket and dump a milk on, like, an old lady.
Yeah, and, like, that's not a prank. That's just you being a dickhead.
Now, if that guy gets that video and it's like, congratulations, you made money on this video. Now you have to go fight Jorge Masvidal.
That's probably my least favorite YouTube videos. Or any kind of those videos, like we're pranksters, and it's just like them being dickheads in public stores or shit.
I hate that.
And the other ones I hate,
the guys who like make the big spills, so someone has to mop that up.
And the other ones that I hate are the guys that walk around. They're like, I got this $300 and I'm gonna give it to somebody. They're like, here's $300. And I'm like, yeah, it's for you. And then they try to put like sentimental music on there, and they're they're just like jacking themselves off
help someone
for being charitable and shit.
But
really, they're like. They're making like $9,000 on that video. You know what I mean?
Their 27 million views on Facebook are worth a
lot more
than
like people that like film their charity, their own charity work, and like brag about it, are just like the biggest scum on the earth to me.
Sure. Well, how about
in my opinion,
the lady who was a YouTuber, right? She did like the We're a Great Family, right? The HGTV white people family. They adopted a kid from China. Made all this money on the video of like the process and look at our family.
Right.
Well, turns out the kid had like some developmental issue, right? I don't know if he's on the spectrum or what. And she immediately was like, this is kind of hard. Gave the kid away. The kid's a new orphan, and she came out crying like, it's so sad that people are now being mean to us. And it's like, do you know how much money you just made on you wanting to adopt a kid? And then the moment the kid's not ideal, you're like, I'm out.
That's really shitty.
Now, if she had to go fight Clint Eastwood,
I would let Clint Eastwood beat the hell out of her.
Yeah. Or, I don't know, Jackie Chan, someone from like the homeland.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and that's like goes back to that Bill Burr bit. Like, there's no reason to hit a woman. Not saying you should.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey versus the mom that gave away her
But
kid.
No reason?
Yeah. I'm for this all day. What if they let
Clint,
Trump
do work?
Trump has to fight Jack, and if he wins, he gets
100%.
his Twitter back.
Yeah.
Boom. Biggest
100%.
pay-per-view of all time.
100%.
Trump versus Jack.
Yeah, I'd watch Putin fist fight people, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like
no
with
shirt.
with his shirt off and the jeans
They
on.
could even be on horses. Like, I mean, you're talking, dude, if Trump fought anyone on
equestrian fighting I'm in for.
Oh, my God. I mean, you're talking billions of dollars.
Billions.
Billions of dollars. So, do I want to see all of those fights? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Usually more than pro
I'm
fights.
for.
Four. Golden four, actually.
4 YouTubers. Yeah.
For sure. All right. So this one comes from my personal life, right? We have a dear friend of ours, Sam, who he's been obsessed with this thing, and he's always been talking to me about it for years, but tiny houses. Have you heard of this phrase?
Oh, yeah.
So my for against tiny houses.
Against.
Okay.
I've seen them.
I feel like I'm more against people who talk about tiny houses all the time than the tiny house itself. If someone could actually live in the tiny house and just like be cool, like I don't go out and talk about my house I live in ever.
Yeah.
Right? So if you could do that in a tiny house and not kind of be like, well, actually tiny houses have this and the like, I think I'm against the tiny house people.
The one thing that I'm for
Yeah.
Is that typically, like, a lot of them, they go off the grid in these tiny houses.
Right. That's appealing.
That I'm for. I'm way for going off the grid.
Sure.
But I'm against that. Like, I don't want to live in a closet. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. I got claustrophobia, and I just, I don't want to. That's too small. I need room to move. I got a dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, my dog's 90 pounds, and I'm damn near 300.
My dog's like 8 pounds.
A tiny house is not going to work.
So, like, she would probably love it. She's like, oh, there's still plenty of room for me to shit in here. I'm like, yeah.
I can imagine my
sure
dog,
is, Rhonda.
Me, my wife, and my 2 children, who are probably going to be huge.
Yeah.
All in a little 80 square feet. Well, my thing is, like, I think it sucks because the idea of trying to be less wasteful and this and that, great. I don't think that's what it is, right?
Well, yeah.
I don't think it's like people who are down and out and need help. Like, why aren't we building tiny houses for homeless, right?
Right.
That's not what we're doing.
Right.
I think it's usually rich white hipsters.
It is.
That want to gloat and say how cool
it is.
They saw that movie where the guy lives in a van in the wilderness and they're like, that's like us now.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and they're like hipsters and like, well, they've had like so much fucking coffee that they're like eventually their brain just melts and like, I'm gonna build a tiny house because I'm noble.
Well, they always pointed it like
you're getting close. Like,
yeah. Well, they don't flip the camera around and you see like mom and dad's mansion behind. I live on the 80th acre of mom and dad's estate. No, yeah, I think in the idea of just creating these houses for like someone to live in.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's
with me.
totally fine.
If you want, like, the funny thing about Sam is he went so weird. He crossed over tiny houses, right?
Yeah.
He's like, tiny houses are like the old thing. They're cool. Then his idea was he was just gonna live in a boat. He's like, I'm just gonna pay for a slip. It's cheaper than rent.
That's really stupid.
And I'll live on like a sailboat. Yeah. And I was like, you don't know how to sail. And he's like, that's not important. I'm just living there. And like, him walking me through and sending me YouTube videos.
And he totally would.
Yeah, just like how you have to like manage your poop.
Yeah.
Like living in a boat and all this stuff. And I was like, let's say you like me to last.
Well, I wouldn't last if I had to manage my poop because it's
none
emergency city when I got a shit.
But also, it's like I don't want to have to add like now I have to think about this, right?
Yeah.
Like now you just do it, you get rid of it, great. I don't want to be like, it's Wednesday, it's time to handle, right? Like I have to do that for my dog in the backyard. It's horrible. So I don't know, but as a concept though, do you think all of us could do shrinking it down?
Some people could. I could. I don't like camping. You know why? We've evolved past that. We figured out a better way than sleeping in dirt. Like we figured it out. I don't want to go do it.
Well, I always wonder what they
You know what I
do.
mean? We figured out how to build huge, awesome houses
Yeah.
and apartments with like enough space that I can fucking, do a lap naked if I want to. I don't want to fucking
There you go.
every time I turn around my elbow hits a wall. Like I don't want to do that. We've learned to do better.
Yeah.
Like let's stop. You know what I mean?
What do you
stop
do for
harnessing
recreation?
and fucking holding back the power of your brain? Like
I mean, I agree.
I feel like that's what you're doing. Like, I can build something greater, but I'm just gonna keep it here. Like, well, you're stupid. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I just can't imagine the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like,
I get it. I want to. I am
have...
for the environment. I'm for that. Golden for.
It's not for the environment.
But I don't think I agree that I don't think the intention of these. Some of them are. They're like, oh, leave a smaller footprint. That's the buzzword that I know about the environment. My footprint. And it's like, oh, cool, man.
Right, but then, like, I'm assuming you have to like drive more to places that have cool shit.
Yeah.
So you're still like your footprint's huge. Because you're like, man, I'd like to do something.
Well, plus, like, they have to haul that fucking house around and shit. And so that adds weight. Which,
they just move them around.
Well, that adds weight to the vehicle, which burns more fuel. You know what I mean?
This forest is getting a little gentrified.
Yeah, it's like seeing like a fucking, a fucking Hummer with like an anti-pipeline sticker on the back of it. You know what I mean?
That guy would immediately be fascinating, though. You'd be like, I got to follow him wherever he's going and learn what I can.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that is true. Most of my neighbors have trucks that are bigger than houses. It's weird because I'm against giant vehicles, but against tiny houses. So I don't know where I fall on the spectrum.
Like, I don't care about the vehicles either. Like
you don't care about people having like gigantic.
Nope.
It freaks me out.
I don't.
Because I'm like, what if
I don't want one. I don't have one. I don't want one, but I don't care. Like, I'm not going to concern myself with what.
I don't think you need a 15-foot tall truck.
I agree.
Unless you're racing Gravedigger.
Yeah,
on
like
Sunday,
if you're raising the truck, then I just assume you're an asshole. Like,
that's true.
You know what I mean? Like if you have to get like a stepladder to get into your vehicle, you're probably a douchebag.
Yeah.
And like they can't sell you enough Affliction t-shirts and fucking, Ed Hardy fucking beer mugs.
They open
whatever.
the door, their ladder drops, Monster Energy cans spill out.
Yeah, like I already know what that guy's life is.
Yeah.
It's Affliction t-shirts. Every weekend he goes to the same bar he's been to 100 times and asks them if they're showing the UFC fight. And they're not, and he knows that they're not. But like he's like, well, this one's a big one. They're like, well, no. And he's like, I guess I'll just have a Mick Ultra.
Yeah. And I'll watch the Clint Eastwood fights on my phone.
And a White Claw for my fucking girlfriend. And we both have like sequins on the pockets of our butts of our jeans. Like I already know what this guy's life is.
This is so specific.
I already know what it is.
I feel like we touched a nerve with you. That was so hyper specific.
And so, like, I just don't like that guy. I don't care if you want to drive that truck, but I just don't think much of you.
Guys who have trucks like that have to talk about them all the time.
Yeah.
The same way that people who have tiny houses, like they'll come to you, do you really need 6 bowls?
Yeah.
You need 6 whole bowls in your house?
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know, I have them. Like, what do you want me to do with them? Break them? They're already made. So I'm not saving the environment.
I'm against tiny houses.
I'm against tiny houses.
I'm against them.
Yeah.
I'm against tiny house people, like you said, too.
I think it's tiny house people.
I'll take your side on that one.
I'm against tiny house people.
All right. Super Bowl coming up.
Oh, yeah. History, baby.
Fuck Tom Brady.
Number 7.
Fuck LeBron getting all butthurt about some
courtside Karen?
Yeah, courtside Karen.
She apologized in a video.
I don't care.
Like a hostage video.
Why is he even paying attention to those fools? That's not my
That's what he does.
Not my king.
That's what he does.
Not my king.
Not my king. I didn't vote for him.
So here's my for or against.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be doing this hard on Sunday.
Okay.
For or against rooting against somebody. So what I mean by that is you're watching a game that you don't really like either team. So you just spend the whole time just rooting against the person that you hate. You don't even care that the other team might win. Like, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm going to say, like, I don't necessarily like the Chiefs or whatever. I enjoy watching Patrick Mahomes. I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily root for them.
Okay.
But instead, I'm going to root against Tom Brady on Sunday. More than I'm going to root for the Chiefs. Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I would argue that's how most people enjoy sports, right?
Yeah.
That's why rivalry games are the biggest, is because you get to do both at the same time.
Like, if I turn on a Lakers-Thunder game, I'm going to spend the whole time rooting against LeBron. Instead of rooting for the Thunder. Because I don't care about
whoever
you know what I mean?
the fuck they're playing. Yeah. Well, no, for me, it's like the Chiefs already won last year, right? The Chiefs feel like a cheat code.
Yeah.
To me, where it's like, they're almost
I do enjoy watching them play. I love watching Mahomes play.
Yeah, I mean, I feel about them how you feel about those Warriors runs that I used to like watching, where you're like, is this even fun? Like, I feel like they should win by 50 every game, right? And so, like, I don't really feel like I want them to win. Like, I don't want the Chiefs to rip off like 5 in a row.
Yeah.
They all seem okay. I have no beefs. But for me, I'm specifically watching for the opposite of you.
Yeah.
Because I think Tom Brady winning, in the absolute maelstrom that'll stir up, especially here in Indiana, with like all the Brady haters, is so much more fun and enjoyable than just seeing a clearly better football team win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? There you go, see? That look right there, that's what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for next week's pod. You just be like, Andy cheated here.
He did.
And the flags.
I already know.
I
already know. Yeah.
You think they're going to win?
They shouldn't be in the game this week. They already shouldn't be here.
But this is what I mean. Us just being in here next week, wow, the Chiefs are good. Not interesting.
Yeah.
It's not a fun
Tom
day.
Brady cheated, also typical.
If next week we can do 4-4 against, right, where it's, was that really a tuck rule?
Oh, I'm going to be taking
Tom
notes.
Brady the GOAT.
In my drunken stupor, I'll be taking notes.
For sure, if they win, next week's topic, Tom Brady the GOAT.
Yeah.
For sure.
But he's not.
And we'll fight it out.
Yeah.
And that's so much more fun. I'm always, because like, I remember when we were kids, right? John Starks choking.
Yeah, it was the greatest day of my life.
Watching that was so much more compelling than any other thing in that game. Right? So rooting for someone to fail, I think, is absolutely integral to sports.
To sports, yeah. I don't do it. Yeah, I don't do it anywhere else in life. I don't think. Like I don't.
Oh, that's not true.
I don't know. I don't know.
Even game stonks. I heard. My eat the rich mind.
Well, I was rooting for the hedge funds to fail. Yeah.
When Jeff Bezos' wife took half his money, I was like, good, fuck Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Like, I root against people
Yeah.
all the time. I'm not saying that's a good quality. It's certainly not something I'm proud of.
Can you imagine losing half of your money and still having $400 billion?
If I lost half of what I owned, it'd be like a stack of comic books. And
it wouldn't even be $400 for me.
I think my wife would just be like, yeah, take all your shit and get out. Like, I'll just keep your dog. And like, no! Like, that would be it. But yeah. But that's what I mean. I'm always rooting against. Like, this is the thing. Why is Floyd Mayweather a pay-per-view draw? None of us are technically savvy enough to learn.
Well, he's undefeated.
okay, but his fights are mostly
but he has that banner to fucking display at all times. You know what I mean?
And the reason that banner matters is because you don't want to miss the one where he gets knocked the fuck out.
Oh, 100%.
That's why it matters.
100%.
Most people are buying that because they want to watch him get clocked. And so I think rooting against people is more like when I watch UFC fights, right? It'd be like when they'd have those really heated battles, right? Whether it was Tito and Chuck or Rashad and Rampage, all those guys where it's like you'd watch the Ultimate Fighter season and you're like, he punched a door into pieces. Like,
it'd be amazing.
Do that to his face.
I'm here for it.
And so then you're like, that's my guy. So then you start villainizing the other. I think that's why people like politics so much.
I agree, but it's
always that.
That's true. That's politics, but also like when I was a kid, and I need to get back into it, but I watched wrestling all the time.
Oh yeah.
And so you had your guy. Mm-hmm. You always had your guy, but 90% of the time when you were watching wrestling, you were just fucking booing somebody.
Yeah.
Like the dude you hate. You know what I mean, though? Yeah. Like somebody would come out and you're like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck that motherfucker, you know?
Yeah. I watched
It
Royal
wasn't
Rumble
always
this
about
Sunday.
just cheering on your guy.
No, it's more the other. Because the thing I didn't realize till I was older and watching wrestling, so my son is obsessed now.
Yeah.
Right? We were watching the Yokozuna documentary.
I know.
Oh, it was awesome. I love I like the old wrestling documentaries.
Well, that's what gets me excited because I'll come here and he'll start talking to me about his favorite wrestlers, and I get like, I get kind of sad that I don't know. Like I'm like, dude, I got to catch up.
I got to get back
because I used to love that shit. Like that was me when I was a kid. Like I can see myself in it, and it makes me tear up like tears of joy. I'm like, I love this,
and it's great because you're watching as an adult, and when they miss beats, you're like, God, this is stupid. But like when it's cool, right? Yeah. And like when he likes this guy Braun Strowman, he's like this giant fucking freak of nature, right? And his music hits, and it's just him screaming like King Kong, Rawr! And then it starts, and the way my kid jumps out of the fucking chair, right? And he's like, yeah, he's the toughest man ever. No one can beat him.
Yeah.
And then the match ends with him getting cheated.
Yeah.
Oh, they hit him with the chair, and my son's just like, oh, they cheated. That's not fair. And he's more mad at that.
Yeah.
And so then the guy who hit him with the chair, and because almost every match ends in cheating.
Yep.
Right? And my son trying to process this.
Yep.
Because I remember, I love Werner Herzog, right? The
filmmaker.
Yeah. And he's like, I loves to watch the WrestleMania. And he's like, I think it's important to understand the barometer of human condition. So I love the WrestleMania. It is the ultimate good versus evil.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so fucking weird, but true.
Yeah.
And like watching my son, he is so excited when they cheat. And then when the good guy finally wins, it's better because he's rooting against that other guy to lose.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm
all for,
but it's smart because like that's such a huge like part of psychology is like it's so much more incentive to hate. Like so like even like in the restaurant, but like if you go to people's Yelps, the only people that fucking leave Yelp reviews are the people that were pissed off.
Yeah.
Nobody has a good meal. It's like, you know what? Let me Yelp that. It's only the fucking Karens that are like, oh my God, they forgot my ranch. You know what I mean?
I'm so full of delicious food.
Yeah.
My wife's sitting on my face because the date was great. Let me go ahead and pause that, honey. 5 stars.
Yeah, dude. But that's why wrestling is successful because they give you people to hate. They give you people to feel that like, fuel that hate. Totally. And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. What's your favorite movie ever, right? Yeah. As a bad guy that's good, I'll bet. Every one of them.
Yeah.
There's no movie that everyone's like, that's my favorite movie, where it's just a bunch of like, okay people chit-chatting.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that doesn't exist.
I agree.
Right? Why do we like Jaws? The fucking shark's trying to
Shark's dope.
That shark's great. Like, we all are like, I understand that. I don't like it. I want that shark to blow the fuck up. Yeah, I'm so for
it.
Yeah.
For it.
And why are all these people famous on Twitter? Because they're fucking trolls.
Yeah, dude.
It's a huge part of life.
I love trolling.
I'll be rooting for Tom Brady because I know you hate it.
I'll be rooting against him.
So in a way, I'm rooting against.
You're doing it on a personal level. I'm doing it on a. You heard it here. Andrew Luck's coming back, and he's taking the throne.
When you get this,
he's taking the throne from Brady.
When Andrew Luck's like, I'm actually coming back to be a NCAA pro video game player.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady has 7. And Peyton Manning's still just doing those dipshit insurance commercials. I'm worried about you.
I don't think they're dipshit. What do you got? Close us out.
All right. So our friend Brian Wilson posted a story on Twitter today. I had to pull this up because I don't know who this is. So he posted or retweeted a story, and I was like, this is so insane. I have to just do a for or against, right? So the rapper Lil Uzi Vert got a $24 million diamond implanted in his forehead. He claims he's been saving for the gym since 2017. And so it's like Vision, right? The superhero. It's right here in the middle of his forehead.
Yeah.
Big ass pink diamond. This feels like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in general, right?
Yeah.
Because for or against these extreme body modifications or just like stupid shows of wealth. Pick your poison.
Body modification, I don't care. Like if you want to look like a lizard, I don't give a fuck. Something for me to laugh at. You know what I mean? I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Fine with it. Golden against spending $24 million on a diamond. That's
one diamond.
Just useless. Just absolutely worthless.
Right.
For taking that diamond and putting it in your head, though. Because that's kind of funny. Like, that's kind of fun. Like, I know that's not why he's doing it.
Sure.
But, like...
There's a stupidity to it.
Some woman is, like, mad because, like, her husband only bought her, like, a $3,000 diamond.
My wife.
You know, but, like... But she, like, walks around and she's got, like, this disdain because she sees all these big fat rocks, you know?
Yeah.
And then this guy just walks in. He's got a $24 million diamond in his forehead. And she's like, motherfucker! You know, like, I just, you know, I'm to me, that, like, the two ends of that spectrum and then, like, the possible meeting of those two things one day really tickles my funny bone. Like, some lady walking around and she's just like thinking about divorce and she's looking at her little ass diamond that she always fucking resented.
Yeah.
And then this fucking guy walks in.
Just bought it for himself.
And he's just got the fucking Iron Man chest in his forehead just shining right at her. She's like, motherfucker. And she just has a full-on existential crisis breakdown right there at fucking Kroger. And
divorce.
I'm into that scenario playing out.
That scenario is way better. Because mine was just like, I just had like questions. Because I am for foolishly spending money.
Yeah. That's how I live my life.
Yeah. If I had billions of dollars, I wouldn't be one of these hoarders, right? I'd give a bunch to like make sure people can eat and not be homeless, right?
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, I'm buying dumb shit. Like, I'm buying every Batmobile. I'm buying a fully working RoboCop body. Like,
100%.
Cool stuff, right? Because what's the point of money? I get that. But then I have questions, right? Like, how does this thing stay in his head? How much does he have to spend on security so that every time he goes out, someone's not trying to knock him out
Cut
and
his
steal
head
his
off.
diamond?
Yeah.
Right? Like, even me, I'm like, this should be like Ocean's 14. It's just Clooney's like,
I assume you'll have to
diamond.
do surgery to get it out.
I don't think so. I think you could just punch him enough and pull it out, right?
Just fucking, Inglourious Bastards, where he just takes the knife and carves into her head. Like, that's what it's going to be.
I mean, people have done worse for less money, right?
Yeah,
like,
It's
like every time you go out, at least one person's going to be like, I think I could kill that guy and have $24 million.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Who gets it when he dies?
Does anyone? Does it just get
buried?
buried?
Does it get buried?
So then now we're digging
Then somebody's
up
digging that grave up for sure.
But now, how does he take a bath? You can't get soap water all over your fucking 24 diamond.
I'm sure you can.
You got to put like a sticker on it or something.
No, I bet you can get it wet.
Oh god,
diamonds are.
What about the
diamonds
germs?
Are tough, man.
Also, here's another.
It's like
thing.
the toughest like substance on earth. It's like the strongest substance.
I know, but it'll get cloudy and gross looking.
Nah, bro.
I don't know. I think you got to. I'm not an expert. My wife has to get her diamond ring cleaned all the time. They take it in and do supersonic like sound waves on it to like get nasty stuff off.
Really?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Whoa.
I just learned about this.
Whoa.
Yeah, I go to the Lego store. She does that.
Yeah.
So I just learned about this right at the mall where this happens. But that's what I mean. I just have questions for days. Also, if this is a lady getting a fare, right, as you're insinuating, I think just having $24 million is more attractive to a lady than...
I agree.
Like, what happens when no longer is he this music mogul?
Yeah.
Things are going
I
bad.
didn't know
Does
he
have to
was a
sell the
music
diamond?
mogul. I don't know what it...
Sure.
You know?
And I'm not like a young, super hip music
Apparently
fan.
he's doing something right if he's got 24 mil to fucking burn on a diamond for his forehead.
I mean, that's insane to me.
So,
but yeah, I mean,
props to him. I'm not knocking his hustle. Like,
well, he must have hundreds of millions.
Whatever he's doing it right. Well, I don't know. I like to imagine that was his last 24, because that would be even fun. That would be even funnier to me.
But that's
if like he did that and then he had to go get like $2 menu items at McDonald's because that's all he had left.
Yeah.
Like he scraped a couple of quarters out of the fucking middle console of his car and was like, let me just get 2 McChickens.
Next time we see him, he's just like eating a McChicken, and there's either a big hole or like a Claire's diamond. He's like, this is my Claire's. I wear that to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. This gets to those things, though, because there are certain... This is one of those weird, like, I don't know if I'm just getting older. But, like, the older I get, I see shit like this, and I'm like, I think that needs to be illegal. Like, why can't that be a headband?
Why? Well...
Why can't that be a headband?
Yeah.
If you're really...
Well, then that's way easier to steal, though.
I mean, I think you're underestimating how easy it would be to cave in someone's face and just take that shit. Like, I think that's way easier than...
Yeah, but it's still that's still harder than just ripping a headband off.
I mean, maybe on your, like, soul, but yeah, I don't know. But, like, I was like, if you really want to be a fucking badass, cut your eye out and make it your eyeball. That's how you're a really cool dude. Now you're just like, oh, sick. You look like you're from Jim and the
old diamond eyes over there, yeah.
Yeah, like just like you're a Bond villain, like eye patch up, like I'm about to drop a wager. You look with your pink eye, it's like, oh, fuck, that guy's hardcore. But I don't, like, I see shit like there was this guy, right? He wanted to look like Red Skull, right? He was like the famous Nazi villain. So his whole face is red. He got like little devil horns. His eyeballs are tattooed black.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think... And then I never heard from him again. He's not like an influencer or whatever. Probably like he's dressed as a Nazi or whatever. I'm like, so now that guy's someone we all got to pay for forever. That should be illegal.
Well, there's like the guy that did he's got like 100-some surgeries, and he tried to look like Ken doll.
I saw that.
Right. Yeah. And then he does it, and then he's like, people laugh at me. I was like, well, yeah, because you...
No shit.
You look ridiculous. Like, if
you don't look like a Ken doll.
If you want to do that... Go for it.
Now, see,
but just because you get to do that doesn't mean that I don't get to laugh at you for it.
Sure.
Because you look stupid. You know what I mean?
I
at
that
exactly point,
I
don't
it's
care.
Not even about them getting made fun of, right? Like, it's weird because I'm for, like, if you want to get a surgery to make your dong bigger, cool.
Here's what
if
you don't get a laugh
breast
at.
Or butt, cool.
You don't get a laugh at the way that people look.
The way they're born.
The way that they are and the way they're born. You're an asshole
they
if you do.
They have 0% input.
However, if they go and fucking chop up their fucking face to try to do something, and like you get a laugh at that because they did that.
They chose that.
Yeah, they chose that, and it looks stupid.
Born with birth defects.
Yeah, you don't get a laugh at that because they can't help that. They can't help that.
No, if they put
and
on
it's
a Good
not
Charlotte
funny anyway.
T-shirt, you get to make.
You get to make fun of that.
That's a choice.
It's a choice. Yeah,
I'm for that, but this is what I mean. That guy who made himself look like a Nazi, or the people that want to look like Satan, or cut their tongues like forks, or whatever. This is the business zone.
Yeah.
Like, now you're saying I don't want a job.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, I saw this girl on Twitter, and she made a pretty compelling case, right? She's like, my parents are mad I turned down a minimum wage job because they didn't want me to have my hair dyed green and, like, her piercings or whatever it was.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, if they're paying you minimum... They should expect minimum.
Right.
You don't get to say, hey, you have to look like, you're on the CW to work a minimum wage job. That I understand.
Yeah.
But if you're getting black eyeballs in fucking devil spiky lizard horns like you're saying. That feels like you're just saying, hey, you guys have to support me for the rest of my life.
No,
I feel like I'm turning into my dad right now during this
Well, that's the thing, though. Like,
I hate it.
Here's how you get how you get to have face tattoos. Be a real successful rapper.
Or Mike Tyson.
Someone
who's really good at something, yeah.
Here's where you shouldn't get face tattoos. If you're currently looking for a 40-hour-a-week job. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
and tattoos are fucking expensive.
I have nothing but it's just how it works.
I agree.
It's just how it works.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I even agree with it. Just saying.
Yeah.
At some point you got to live in reality. You know what I mean?
But see, this hurts
me. At some point, you got to do it.
I don't want to be the guy that's telling people to grow up and live in reality.
The moment
that's not who I want to be.
The moment fucking Scorsese calls me up and is like, "Hey, here's $30 million. We're making the Kent Murphy movie," then I'm gonna get a face tattoo. Until then, I can't. Until then, I can't afford to get a face tattoo because of the avenues in life that I still might have to take.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God, we're so old.
No, I don't think that's an old.
Down the man. Now we're the man.
Well, at the end of the day, it's still fuck Tom Brady. At the end of the day,
the best thing ever would be Tom.
I don't
Brady
even
gets
remember
a face tattoo.
the head diamond. Okay, I'm for it. I'm for it in the scenario that it'll.
He will have to spend that much money on security to make sure people don't cave his face.
That's what he's got to do then.
That will be an awesome Netflix documentary, though. The hunt for the diamond.
Yeah.
And just how many people tried to murder him.
It'll be a lot of fun.
I've seen Netflix show where people are just like, I just wanted to get life insurance policies for like $100,000 and killed someone.
Well, yeah.
I mean, this is insane.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. This like gets to a bigger thing. Some of these people that are into the extreme, like I remember when we were in college, that was the big thing. Everyone got those things so their earlobe holes were like.
Oh, yeah, the gauges. Yeah.
And I was like, that looks really dumb to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't look comfortable.
And it looks even dumber when they have to take them out and they like permanently just have like this.
The scrotum ear.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad.
It's a bad choice.
It's bad. But that's what I mean. It's like, it's not.
But I'm not mad at it. It's like, it's your bottom.
It's not hurting anyone.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
So you're saying that.
But I also get to make fun of you for it.
If
because
some guy wants to look like Satan.
Yeah, if I wear a stupid outfit, you can make fun of me. You're allowed to.
Do you think they should be discriminated against in the job market because they wanted to look like Satan?
I don't think they should. I don't think they should be. I don't think anybody should be discriminated against in anywhere, job market or otherwise. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is that they are. You know what I'm saying?
Is that fair, though?
No, it's not fair.
I think so.
It's not fair.
Probably not.
It's not.
I'm waffling now.
But
I'm against the diamond.
But the reality of it is that it happens. So the moment you go get a fucking face tattoo, your chances of landing that job dwindle. And it sucks, but that's the way it is. And you got to know that. Like, you got to fucking know that. And we're getting too serious. Let's end it. Farts are funny and so are butts. And fuck Tom Brady.
If you got farts tattooed on your face, hilarious. I'm for that.
Hey, guys. We'll see you next week on the pod. Until then, bye.